Test 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's do this. Let's see. Let's get this back over here. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me good, Katie? Awesome. Hopefully Facebook and Rumble and YouTube can hear me as well. What's up, Deanna? How are you? Someone on Facebook can let me know if y'all can hear me or not. It'd be very helpful, please. Same on Rumble, if anyone can hear me on there. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, I think we are good to go then. I apologize for taking so long to get started. What's up, Christy? How are you? What subject today? I was so busy today. I don't even have anything set in stone. So really whatever y'all want to talk about, we can discuss. I mean, there's so much going on. It's just hard to narrow it down. And we end up, usually when I set a subject, we end up talking the least about it anyway. So yes, y'all please share the live and like it so we can push it out. Always justice for my main man, August. Absolutely. Yeah, I just published a video on another one on the August Borden. It's pretty specifically about the Madison County DA's office during their law call interview and all the times that they contradict themselves. And there's just so much about the case. It just does not make any sense at all. And so I just continue to call them out. But y'all make sure to check that out after the live. It's on TikTok, Rumble, Facebook. It'll be on everything by the end of the day. Do I have any thoughts on the Tuscaloosa police officer arrested for domestic violence last week? I do not. I know him pretty well. I've always respected him. I've always had a ton of respect. He is a great police officer. Now, I don't know what happened the other night. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, but I worked with him for a long time. And, I mean, he's a great guy. I've never seen him do anything, crazy or anything. But if he did do what is alleged, then I have nothing to do with him anymore. I'll say that. I mean, I don't put up with that. And it really sucks when it's somebody that you have so much respect for and that you've looked up to at times to see them do something like that. It's crazy. But again, I do not know any details. I purposely just have not asked because I want to be in that need to know thing on that. And then other than that, I'm going to wait until we see what happens with it. But I mean, he was the commander over well, he was currently the commander over their CID criminal investigation division, but he spent a long time in homicide, and he was I don't think he ever ran homicide, but he was the second in charge for a long time. But he worked in that unit for a long time. He's very smart, very intelligent man. But again, I have no idea what's going on with him now. I was extremely surprised to see that. Yeah, he was a captain. What's up, Justin? So Facebook, y'all can't hear me good now? And TikTok can hear me good. There's no echo or anything, right? For anyone? Yeah, Justin, it did me too. I mean, he would have been one of the last people I would have ever thought. Like if you would have said, here, you get 100 guesses on who it was, and I would have not guessed his name. I wouldn't not have. I mean, he has always just been as nice as can be, and he's very thorough. He's very calm, very intelligent. But like I said, if what is alleged really happened, then yeah, I mean, I have no place for anyone on my list for that mess. Never will. What's up, Janice? In Alabama. Yeah, Christy, like I honestly, I've not asked anybody about any details. because I didn't want to be asked about it, and then if I did know, not be able to say, or it just gets complicated when it's somebody you know that well. You wussed out of a root canal? They have medicine for that, Kristen. Yeah, and I have not had time to look into the incident that happened in Pinson with the 4 high school students, and unfortunately, one of them didn't live. I think a female cheerleader. It's a horrible situation. Does anyone know any of the details, like who did it or why or what the whole deal was? So, Jonathan, it's going pretty good. Lori, Carbon Hill, Dora. We got a couple of Walker County people. That's awesome. I think it's Twyla on Facebook. It said Tuscumbia, where the price is wrong. That's pretty solid. Stephanie from Sheffield. Hey, thank you, Stephanie. I really appreciate that. So the suspect was arrested, and he's a 27-year-old man. So was he at the party? The 27-year-old guy was at this teenager's party? Oh, that just reminded me. I've got a message from someone that is very reliable that said they had all the details on that, and they wanted me to call them, and I just remembered just then. I should have called them today, because they text me, I think it was like a couple hours after it happened. So he just he showed up randomly at this party and just started doing that. What in the world? You really wish that Walker County was better. It will be. It will be. What's up, Gardendale? So he just showed up, started harassing people before he started shooting. I don't understand that. Yeah, I need to call my source that text me and see, because like I said, I got the message from them before it is even on the news. So I don't know. They obviously had some big inside info. I'll talk to them and then see what all they tell me and get some details on that. What do I think about Paul Kilgore's death? I don't. Who is that? Sounds very familiar. The name sounds familiar. I just. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm not prepared to talk about that yet, but I have a lot of notes on that. I've had quite a few conversations with people to do with that, and at some point I will put something together on that. I knew the name. Yeah, he worked at Walker County. Yeah. Am I going to come into town for the March for August? Yes, I am definitely planning on that, Haley. So unless something absolute crazy happens, no, I will be there. I don't want to end up in a freezer. I don't want you to end up in a freezer either. Hey, Connie, how are you? Yeah, I'll be there. And anybody, if you see me there, speak to me. Don't hesitate to speak to me. Do you guys think Gil Self is going to spend any time in prison? I don't know enough about his case. I've seen it and I've read some details, but it's been when it first came out. So I really don't even, off the top of my head, I don't know enough details to have an opinion on that or not. My educated guess would be yes, since that has gone as far as it has. So that tells me more than likely there is something definitely to it. And well, let me I take that back. So he's actually going to jury trial, correct? Yeah. So if he's going to jury trial, then I have no idea. That's a 50-50 every time anyway. A jury trial, no, but I don't care what anybody ever tells you, is a 50-50. I don't care how innocent you are or how guilty. I've seen some crazy things happen in a jury trial where, I mean, I've had one where the suspect got on stand himself, literally admitted to what he had, and then they found him not guilty. Literally because they felt sorry for him. I'm not kidding you. I met with like three or four of the jurors after in the elevator, and I just straight up and asked them, and they said we felt sorry. Everybody felt sorry for him. So that's how jury trials can go sometimes. But I would never want to be a judge on trial in a jury trial. I would never want to be a police officer in that situation. Because depending on who you get on the jury, again, it doesn't matter if you're innocent or guilty. Joey found an old newspaper with y'all and there's individual football pictures on it. Oh, awesome. That was a long time ago. The March for August is, now someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's October the 30th. And it is in Tuscumbia. Yeah, it's the 30th. I will get all the details of that posted on my page as well. Oh, hold on. Let me pull it up and see all the details because somebody's saying a different date now. All right, so the March for August is meeting at the Colbert County Courthouse, which is in downtown Tuscumbia, October the 31st at 10 a.m. And that is 201 North Main Street, Tuscumbia, Alabama. So meeting at the courthouse, downtown Tuscumbia at 10 a.m. on October the 31st. And like I said, I'll post all the details on my page, on all my pages. So, okay, I see where the confusion was now. So there's also a protest for August Borden on the 30th pregame for the Dessler High football game. And that's at 12 p.m. on October the 30th. I will not be there for that, but I will be there on the 31st for the march. Because I think the game is away, right? It's in, looks like it's at West Morgan. Hey, I appreciate that, Jonathan. I really do. Hope you have a good evening. But yeah, everyone that possibly can. We need as many people to show up for the march as possible. And I think there will be a pretty good turnout. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, Mr. Estelle, how are you? Yeah, I agree, Haley. Haley said I've seen a lot of people are coming in. I'm excited and hope this shows them how many people know the truth. Mitch, are you asking me if I was in Walker County when McAnally blew up her husband on the lawnmower, allegedly? Are you asking me, was I physically in Walker County then? I mean, because I've never lived in Walker County. I'm so sorry, Gloria. You're having a very rough time. What year was that, Mitch? In the 80s. Was I working? How old do you think I am? I was born in 83, so. I was thinking there was a lawnmower incident up there, though, that's been sooner than that. Am I wrong? Yeah, I was thinking there was another one. There was something with the lawnmower that was more recent, but I remember hearing about the Carrie Lawson thing when I was a little kid. I didn't live in that county. I lived in Franklin County in North Alabama, but that was, I guess, I'm sure, widely talked about all over the state at least, because I remember hearing people talking about that like my whole life. I think the Dixie Mafia was dying down a lot by the early 90s, though, I think. Or their reign started ending around that time, I believe. Or, well, no, it may have been late 90s. I don't know. If y'all haven't shared the live, please do that right quick. And some more likes. Some more people on. You can also repost the live on TikTok. Oh, really? That's cool. I think this is the first time that I've actually been live on everything at one time and they all working correctly or theoretically working correctly. So I think we're finally starting to get this figured out. I shouldn't have said that. That was dumb. Everything will crash in about 3 seconds. Yeah, knock on wood. Somebody asked me a question. What do you want to talk about? Like I said, there's so much going on. I hated to really create a topic for tonight just because there's so much going on and people would be wanting to talk about different things. So I'm open to anything. And we are right quick. We are figuring out exactly what we're going to do about our subscription service. And because we got to get that back up and running. So more than likely, we will have that situated by the end of this week, and I will put that out. Because I want to start doing some more sub-only videos and lives and things like that. Yeah, James, we were talking about that a while ago. That's sad. It's crazy sad. Update on investment. Well, they had the hearing actually here in Tuscaloosa last week, and it's they've pushed the charge to grand jury. Unfortunately, in that circuit, I guess they only do grand jury a couple times a year, so it's going to probably be next year before the grand jury. Which he should have been put back in jail and until grand jury. I do not understand why he has not. Like I don't know. Well, Gloria, that's what I'm talking about. Like it's different in each county. Like Tuscaloosa County, they have multiple grand juries a year. I mean, multiple. I don't even know how many. Tons. But I do. Let's see. But in the smaller places, such as Fayette County and what's the whole circuit? It's the 24th Judicial Circuit, and they only, I think, do 2 a year. And I don't know exactly. I don't even know if they have the exact. I don't know if they have it actually scheduled for exactly when the next grand jury there will be. But I heard it's probably going to be in 2026. How long does it take to put it together for a grand jury? I mean, it's already put together. The case is there. So all that will happen. And all that happens in grand jury is someone, usually the lead investigator, goes in and sits down and tells all the details to the grand jurors. It's most of the time it's a pretty laid back environment, and the grand jurors will ask you questions. Like if you're the lead investigator sitting up there, they will ask you questions about the case, and you just read off the details. And then if they have any questions, they'll ask. And then whoever is running the grand jury, which is a prosecutor, they will put their input in, say their input to the grand jury, and then they'll just tell them to vote on it, and they vote whether they're going to be indicted or not. So most grand jury presentments, most cases is pretty quick. But now if you're talking about, serious things, serious cases, then it can last hours. The presentation can last hours. But I wouldn't see his on that charge. I mean, it should be very quick once they get the grand jury, once it gets presented to grand jury. In your case, it's under discovery now, saying both sides with evidence. Are you talking about a civil case, Gloria? Because that would be different. Yeah, Janice, try to come to that march. We need as many people there as possible. Cameron, will you send me a message about that? Medical malpractice. The surgeon took full responsibility for what happened to my mom. I'm not sure on a case like that. What county is it in, Gloria? And is it a federal case or a state case? Oh, okay. Yeah, I have no idea how often they run grand juries in Calhoun County. Do not know. Hey, Cameron, what is he charged with? What is your brother charged with? Richard asked, what, if anything, do I think is going to happen with August's case now that Madison County DA has shown their incompetence? I think they're probably, and this is a pure guess on my part, I think they're probably just going to sue civilly, and I think they will win. Now, they may have different plans. They may have more plans to try to get the suspect prosecuted. I don't know at this time. But they have attorneys that are working on something, so. But no, it has blown me away of how incompetent the Madison County DA's office has acted in this. I would have never thought that. Well, thank you. See, I don't know if I want to. Siona? Am I saying that right? They had plenty of time to investigate it. They could have been investigated in a week. I mean, not even a week. Siana. Gotcha. I like that. Oh, that's a cool name. But I break it down in the video I put out today. The case is really this simple. You've got. Did I just lose Facebook? There we go. You've got. It would be an assault 3, an assault in 3rd degree per Alabama state criminal code. And all you need for that charge is for someone to recklessly cause severe injury to another person. We have that. Like, none of it's in question. So again, it's literally a shut and close case. However, they are just refusing to prosecute. And I mean, I have a lot of guesses why they're refusing to prosecute, but I don't know exactly why. But I mean, it's not a complicated case at all. And like, I didn't understand from the beginning, why are they making it so complicated? Well, I mean, if they say they're doing this like this because he's a teenager, the system is already set up for that. He's a juvenile, so he would just go through the juvenile system, unless they made him an adult in this case, which that's not going to happen. It's not even a felony. With what we have, it would be an assault in 3rd degree. And unless you can prove intent for sure, then that's all it can be. And I don't think it'd be impossible, I think, to literally prove intent in this case. But you don't have to have intent. But they're not going to try him as an adult because it's a misdemeanor either way. Again, that's why I don't understand. Like, it's not like if he were charged, which he should be, that it would ruin the rest of his life. The system is set up for that to not occur. And for the DA's office in Madison County to do this like they have, they have screwed themselves. I mean, they are now a laughing stock across the state and half the country. And I have no freaking clue why they risked that for this. I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, again, it is that simple. He recklessly caused serious physical injury to another person. Simple. That's it. And there's no question about it that happened. That happened. No one is denying that happened. That's the charge. And then if you haven't watched my video yet, I talk about how during the law call interview, the Madison County Deputy District Attorney Gann says, well, it could have been a harassment, but there was no intent. It could never be harassment. They're just trying to downplay it as much as possible. And again, I don't understand why they're going through all of this instead of looking strictly at the facts of this case and going, it's an assault 3. Charge him. Rest is up to the court system. It's that simple. Why they have stepped out on a limb like they have and embarrassed themselves, I have no idea. I mean, that's what I think, Sienna, as well. I mean, and I've said it in some of my podcasts. When the first words out of a suspect's mouth is trying to explain and as excuses of what happened, that's a big red flag. Because if I'm standing beside someone and they just fall out and start having a seizure, the first person I talk to is not going to be, I'm not going to immediately start saying, I was just standing there. I didn't do anything. No, I'm not going to do that. Because I know I didn't do anything. I'm just going to say, I don't know, he fell out. He fell out and started having a seizure. I don't know, I don't know what happened. But that is not what was said. Per the coach and the director of student services, the suspect immediately starts telling excuses. They've been picking on me all day. That tells you all you need to know. The kid knew he did something wrong, and he was trying to come up with excuses from literally the very beginning. And then by the time Madison County comes in, these kids have all had a month at least to get together and get all their stories straight. Because again, here's another thing. If you've got, I think he said 5 witnesses at least. All right, let's just say that. There may have been possibly more. If you have 5 witnesses, and anyone that's actually investigated cases and interrogated people, interviewed people, will understand exactly what I'm saying. If you have 5 different people that saw the exact same event, their recollection of that event is not going to be the exact same. Never. If it is, then that means they all got together and got their story straight. It is a huge red flag if everybody's story is the exact same. Because everyone sees different things. We're all different. Our brains are different. Like I've said before, your eyes do not see everything that your brain is telling you that your eyes are seeing. That's how you miss things. Like you may be looking for a pink pencil and it's sitting right in front of you and you've looked for 30 minutes for it. And then somebody walk up and say, you're looking for this right in front of you. And you're like, how did I miss that? Because your eyes are just seeing parts of the world at that time. And then your brain tries to fill in the rest of that picture for your mind. Does that make sense? Therefore, this person is going to see something a little different than this person. That person's going to see something a little different than that one. And he literally said, all the witnesses had the exact same story. That's a problem. Thank you, Dana. I really appreciate that. Thank you for your support. If any of us had done exactly the same thing to them or their children, we'd be charged out. Absolutely. Barbara said, maybe we all need to dig deeper for the reason they have chosen to try to cover this up. Is it just to protect a QB and win games? I think that's not enough. Has anything else been covered up on the attackers? No, I agree, Barbara. None of this makes sense. None of it. But if I was the district attorney in Madison County, I would have that Gann guy sit down and say, you are never allowed to go on camera again. Tracy, I'm not saying you're wrong. You absolutely could be correct. Tracy said it's covered up because of money. I don't understand where that money would be coming from. The suspect's family is not poor by any means, but they are not extremely wealthy by any means either. So it didn't come from them if money came into this. And I would think for a well-established prosecutor to turn corrupt for money, it would take a lot of money, especially over something like this. So, like I said, you very well may be right. I don't think that's what it is, though. I think everybody at this point is trying to protect the school and the school system. That's what I think. Just horseplay, just good, clean fun. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I think I said that in my video today. Horseplay does not end with brain damage. That's not horseplay. Again, that's just another one of their. They have tried from the beginning. Everybody, especially the Madison County DA's office, has just tried. They continuously try to minimize what happened. Oh, it's just horseplay. They're just playing around. Well, it could have been harassment. When none of that is true. They're trying their best to downplay this and act like it's not a big deal. And that's what gets me so. When I think about that like that, this gets me. Every time I see them trying to downplay it, it pisses me off so bad because we have a 15-year-old kid that will never play football again, and possibly this could possibly affect a lot of things for the rest of his life. A lot. I mean, this has changed this kid's life. And the way they keep downplaying it is so disrespectful, to say the least. And I mean, every time I hear or see them downplaying it, it just pisses me off all over again. Like, I know, and sure there's a bunch of you played sports in high school, and especially say if you played high school football. Like, that was my life when I was that age. I mean, my entire life revolved around me playing football. I loved it. And I mean, it was my life at that point. And if you would have told me at 15, well, you can never play again, that would have been, it would have been so detrimental. Now I could look back and say, well, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But at that time, it was. And right now, it is to August. And no one should be trying to downplay that. And again, that's just talking about football. We're not talking about how we do not know how bad this is going to affect the rest of his life. And this could have a lot of negative impact on his life forever. And you've got a alleged district attorney calling it horseplay. Glorious showing 24K to me. I've said that as well, Sienna. At some point, when at least one of them, when they get older and more mature, they're going to come out and say, because they're going to have to, because it's going to stay on them and it's going to cause them sleep. They're going to lose some sleep over it. The fracture behind the sinuses tells me a lot of force hit him. Yeah. All I know is it did not happen the way they're acting like it did. I mean, you just... I don't know why it's doing that, Gloria. That's weird. Because you said yours was showing 52? I don't know. That's weird. But, yeah, and like I said, if I had to guess exactly what happened, I would say these 3 or 4 boys were walking down the sidewalk. The suspect was pissed because they've all been making fun of him about allegedly dating this younger girl or whatever, whether it's true or not. They were making fun of him. And he was pissed, and he saw an opportunity, and he came up behind August and probably he either picked him up and slammed him down on the concrete, or he just pushed him as hard as he could, and then August hit and maybe bounced off the stairs or something like that. That's what I think happened. And then when they saw how bad August was hurt, then they all freaked out and went into survival mode. And that's exactly why that kid, the first words out of his mouth was excuses. Yeah, no, I agree, Sienna. That's exactly what I said the other day. You've got this alleged star football player, and he's not strong enough to hold another kid up. Just hold him up. That didn't happen. Oh yeah, you definitely will remember if you're part of a traumatic event, you're going to start remembering better the more sleep cycles you get and things like that if it's extremely traumatic. And then, like I said earlier, if there's 5 people that witnessed it, all 5 people are not going to have the exact same statement. And if they do, you literally know they got together and got their story straight. I mean, I've seen that numerous times. And I would like to know how they interviewed these the kids and the suspect. Were their parents in there when they were interviewing them? Because if so, that interview's worthless. And I have a feeling that may have been the case. I don't know. I hope it's not the case, but it would not surprise me. Because contrary to popular belief, if your kid is 17 years old and involved in a crime and being questioned by the police, you do not have the right to be in there. The kid can request you to be in there, and then they have to let you in there. It's the same with, I mean, it's part of their Miranda rights. They can have an attorney present, or if they're a minor, they can have a parent and or attorney present. But that doesn't mean they have to. I mean, I've interviewed numerous juveniles without a parent. Tracy, none of the coaches saw what happened. Any of them that says they do, they're lying, because the very beginning, everybody said that no coaches saw, and that's and I think I mentioned this in my video I published today. These 2 adult witnesses that the DA keeps talking about, who are they? What did they see? Because it frustrates me if they're legit grown adults that saw exactly what happened and they haven't spoken out and said, look, this is what happened. Y'all can like it or not. And if they come out, step up and speak out about it and tell us what you saw. If it was truly an accident, here's my point. If it was truly an accident and you've got 2 grown adults that saw it happen and and they say it was an accident, and then they're seeing all this controversy surrounding this, they wouldn't still be sitting silent. Prove me wrong. If they actually saw it and know it was an accident and they saw this controversy, they would have came out. They would have came out and said, look, I'm telling y'all it was an accident. This is exactly what I saw. But we don't even know who they are. They haven't spoken out. They haven't said anything. Because it wasn't an accident. And if anyone knows who these 2 people are, I would love to speak to one of them. I mean, respectfully. I mean, I would be respectful as could be, too. Like, I mean, truthfully, I would just love to ask them, hey, tell us what happened. Shannon said there was a guy on Facebook really being rude to August's mom, telling her to get over it. But if somebody knocked that man upside the head, he wouldn't be saying, I'm just going to get over it. Janice, yes. The case is not closed. It could be reopened within the statute of limitations, which would be a year. Or well, I don't know. You don't quote me on that. The statute of limitations may not matter since it's already been brought forward. I don't know. We'll see, Anna, and that's I think some were recording. I don't think any video of the event literally exists anymore. I think whoever had a video of it, it was deleted very quickly because they didn't want it and they didn't want people to see. And because I think if there was a video and any kid had it, what's the reward up to now? Like 10,000? They're not going to turn that down. Somebody would have come forward with it. I do 100% think there was a video that existed. I just don't think it exists anymore. Oh, I agree, Christy. It's ridiculous. Because that's what I would have done. If I would have been investigating this and with all the controversy surrounding it, then they said they looked at text messages from the kids. I bet everything they didn't download any of these kids' phones, which is the only way you can get the truth out of a phone. Because you can sit here and delete stuff out of your phone all day and make it look like whatever conversation you want. But if I download your phone on a device that law enforcement has access to, it doesn't matter if you delete it or not. It's there. That's the only way you can use a phone as evidence is if you do the full download. Because if you don't, it can be manipulated. And I guarantee you they didn't do that. Well, I mean, it didn't make it to the judicial system, technically. It should have. But no, they didn't do any investigating. Literally, they didn't do any investigating. They didn't want to. The DA's office there already had in their mind what happened, and nothing was going to change their mind on that. That's obvious. So they didn't. I'm telling you, they didn't put much time at all into this investigation. Yeah, no, there's devices. I mean, I've used one hundreds of times to download phones, and it will download every single thing that's ever been in your phone, no matter how long it's been deleted or how you deleted it. And like people think Snapchat is private and that the picture goes away and it's gone. No, it's not. Trust me. All that can be pulled back up. All of it. You're exactly right, Sienna. I mean, I've been guilty of that myself. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Every prosecutor and investigator ever has used that excuse at one time or the other. Sienna, did you message me, or if you haven't, will you please message me? I'm very interested in your story and what you're talking about. Hey, Jamie, how are you? Janice said the person who started the money said if you had it on your phone, please let them know. They can pull it up. Oh, you've been renovating your house? Yeah, that sounds fun. I've filed about 6 runaway reports. My daughter's 17, no school since August. Why have they not put your daughter in the juvenile system? Like, what's their excuse? Always, Jamie. Always. Sometimes I'm the one that causes those repair needs things that causes the things to need to be repaired when I'm trying to renovate something, trying to make it better, and end up breaking 3 things. Again, an investigator said it's a civil matter when she's at my mother's and does not have right. A civil matter, a runaway being as what? Do you have full 100% custody of her, like legally? There's no way it could be a civil matter if you have full custody. Like, the only way it could be a civil matter is if her dad is got half custody and she's staying there and won't leave there to come to your house, that. But if she's just running away and you have full legal custody, that there's nothing about that could be civil. Because until she is 18, she does not have the right to make her own decisions of where she wants to be, unless a judge gives her that right. Jamie, I don't think anybody understands Alabama laws too much. I've said before, and I'm not making this up. I have seen the law passed and read it, and it be very confusing to me. I'm like, I don't understand exactly what this part means. And then I have literally gone to the legislatures that literally wrote that law and said, this part doesn't make sense. What did y'all mean by this? And I kid you not, we don't really know. I'm not making that up. Because what happens at times is they just throw something together and pass it. And none of them, they don't put thought into it. They don't, I mean, I'm telling you, it's crazy. And that's not just Alabama. It goes on in every state. Hey, J&J Freedom. You're fighting Alabama DHR. I would love to hear your story. If you would, please send me a message, because I have a lot of issues ongoing with DHR myself with the Katorius Starks case. That's the little boy that was left in the hot car. Yeah, I'm going to get with you, Sienna, and see what we can do, because none of that makes any sense. So I'll get with you and see if there's somebody I can put you in touch with that can help you. A repeat offender gets parole is an issue that I'm facing. Yeah, that happens a lot. Sometimes sometimes there's no rhyme or reason why they release some people and then won't some others. I think that is all starting. I think that's going to change. I think change is coming to that, because you're seeing so much of these repeat offenders, with 20, 30 prior felony charges, and then they're out and they end up hurting someone really bad. It's at some point it's got to stop. If you have been arrested 40 times, and I've seen some even more, and you're not in prison for the rest of your life, then the system's not working. It shouldn't take 40 times. Like, it's obvious you are not going to learn how to live with society. And that is I think we need to start looking at, is this person fit to live in society, versus just looking at punishment. Yeah, I don't see how they could have your child without your permission. That doesn't make any sense. We have not seen our children in over 4 years, but have not had it. Oh my God. 4 years? Jesus. Is their grandmother okay with that? Please look into the death of Paul Kilgore. You're the second person to mention that today, Georgia. But yeah, I am. I've had conversations with people about that case in the past. I've got a little file on that. So at some point, I'll dig into that and put something out about it, because there was some very sketchy stuff with that case. Yeah, absolutely, Jamie. Please do. Awesome, J&J. Freedom. Yeah, I'll check that out as well. Don't understand. She's probably not even aware. Very complex story. She's just the money, and the boyfriend and his mom are taking full advantage, and my daughter is the bridge between the two. You're exactly right, Jamie. You are exactly right. Hey, Miss Holly, how are you? Right quick, let me read this little spiel, this ad. If you haven't already, make sure you download the Rumble app. It's free, simple to use, and the best way to stay connected to the content you want. Once you've got it, search for my channel, which is Agent D Baker and Truth Recon, and hit follow. That way you'll get a notification every time I go live. No missed shows, no extra steps. You can grab it right now using the link in the description or the pinned live chat. Download it to your phone and you're ready to go. And if you prefer watching on the big screen, Rumble is available on all major streaming devices and smart TVs. Just search for Rumble, follow the channel, and be part of the action. Hey, thank you, Holly. I appreciate your support. I really do. They won't help, but they will destroy the innocent. Yeah, Rumble, and my channel is Truth Recon, and my profile is Agent D Baker. Just go follow both of those. Katie, nobody asked you. Oh, I got a new soundboard, so I lost your sound effect. I'll have to make another one. I was about to press it. Hey, thank you, Jamie. I really appreciate your support. I really do. And I thank you for supporting. Any August updates? Seems like case has went cold since the Madison County botched. Yeah, we've been talking about it. We talked about that for about the first hour, but yeah, I mean, I don't really know where they're going to go from here, other than I'm sure a civil suit is coming, and I think that will be successful. I don't know if they're going to continue to try to go after criminal charges. I don't know. They have plans, and they have an entire team of attorneys now. So we'll see something, but it may just be on the civil side. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, Holly, they could charge him, and they should have. They just won't. No, it's very frustrating. Like I said, and the way the way that especially the Madison County DA's office is downplaying, continues to downplay it, calling it by horseplay. It's horseplay. It's horseplay. No, it wasn't. Horseplay does not end in brain damage and multiple skull fractures and facial fractures, and then also in the law call interview, the deputy district attorney again says, well, it could have been he could have been charged with harassment, but there was no intent there. That's a huge downplaying of what happened. It could never be harassment due to the injuries that August had. It would be an assault in the third degree. And but that's just another way of them trying to downplay. Well, harassment, like they kept on saying harassment, and then they continuously say horseplay. They're just trying to downplay this as much as possible, and that is what frustrates me so bad, because we're talking about a 15-year-old kid that the rest of his life will be changed now. We don't know how much. It may be really bad. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully it'll only be minor stuff, but we don't know. But this has completely changed the entire rest of this kid's life, and they're just downplaying it. And it pisses me off every time I think about it. Hey, Tina, how are you? Yeah, and that we know. He will never play sports again, and that sucks for a 15-year-old. I mean, that's a big deal. It's a really big deal. But yeah, it was not horseplay. Yeah, Tina, I'm doing well. Other than what you said, that's for sure. Yeah, James. Yeah, I published a video earlier today talking specifically about all of that. Make sure y'all catch that. It's on Facebook, TikTok, and Rumble. It'll be on everything by the end of the night, but it's on all of those already. But yeah, y'all check that out. I go into the details of how many times he contradicts himself during that interview. Yeah, Holly. Well, and that's the thing. They have the reputation that entire city of Tuscumbia has now, and especially the Dessler High School and the Tuscumbia City Schools. It's going to be a very long. They're going to have that reputation for a very long time. Your daughter brought another cat home. But the entire culture of that school system, and especially surrounding the football program, it's not good. I mean, and them playing that song now when he scores a touchdown and wearing their pins, and it's unbelievable how they are being. And I'm talking about the adults. I expect that stuff from kids. If this was all the teenagers doing all this, I expect that. We all did extremely stupid and ridiculous things when we were teenagers. But we're talking about grown adults that are acting the way they are. They are making a complete mockery and joke out of this kid almost losing his life. And I cannot understand that. I can't. Awesome, Sienna. I really appreciate that. I can't either. Melody said that she can't imagine how uncomfortable it must be there for him now. I can't either. I mean, I'm I mean, definitely if I was them, I would move schools. Now I don't know; they may not be able to because it's a lot easier said than done. But if possible, that's definitely the first thing I would do. Yeah, August is the complete innocent one here. He didn't ask for any of this. He didn't cause any of this. We know for a fact at least one kid caused this. We know that. That's not up for question. But it's just the system is refusing to hold him accountable. And it should not be that way. It shouldn't. Because I am telling you, if this was I'll just say, if this was a poor black kid that was a suspect, he would have been arrested that day. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. And that's the kind of stuff that pisses me off. When I know for a fact that's what would have happened. Like I just... And they need to sit back and realize that themselves. Hey, John, how are you? Give that baby some pizza. I think she's already had pizza. I'm doing pretty good. No, exactly, Jamie. Was I stationed in Virginia? I was stationed in Virginia for 8 months. So not long. I spent a lot of time in Virginia, but as far as like being there, stationed there, was a short time. Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time on Little Creek. And as far as staying on Little Creek, I think I stayed there maybe 2 weeks, one time, 3 weeks. And I stayed at Norfolk a lot, and then I spent a lot of time. Most of my time was in around the Williamsburg area. There's a small Navy base up there. I can't even remember the name of it off the top of my head. What's the name of that? Fort Eustis? No. Oh my goodness, I can't think the name of that little base. I'm getting old. Oh no, I'll think of it in a minute. What are you saying, Sienna? Hey Bailey, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Hey, I sure will, Dylan. I appreciate that. Oh, okay, I see. But and that reminds me of the Gloria. I really appreciate that. You're awesome. I really do too. Oh, I will be. I just saw a message that reminded me of it. I'll be hitting on that Blount County stuff at some point this week too. Yeah, I'll be doing some stories on it. But y'all go when you get a chance. First off, if you're not following Secrets True Crime Podcast on Facebook, go follow her. That she's awesome and puts out great information. And but she's been putting out some stuff about the Coffee County, Alabama jail. Some horrible things happening in there. That's what I was thinking of. But y'all go check her page out and make sure to follow them. But they've posted some videos of the inmate abuse in the Coffee County jail. But yeah, that reminds me of, Criminally Curious as well. Y'all follow him as well. And he just put out a new podcast. It's solid as well. Y'all make sure y'all go follow them. Yeah, unfortunately, John, Alabama has been showing out way too much. It was Secrets True Crime Podcast. That's the name of the page. You talking about Judge Junkin? Out of I think it's the 24th Judicial Circuit. If my teenager calls me bro, I've told my son if he ever calls me that again, we're going to have major problems. Yeah, Sienna, I just don't understand that. I mean, I don't know why they are refusing to do what they're supposed to be doing. But yeah, so anyway, and I'm going to be doing some more. I did one story about him right after it happened. But I'm going to be covering it more because he's still sitting in jail, and it's ridiculous. But the Secrets True Crime Podcast had posted about him yesterday as well, talking about 18-year-old Marquise Gunter. And if you don't know that story, if you're not familiar with it, it is, and it's Judge Junkin. But that's what made me think of it. So, because Judge Junkin is over Lamar County as well. That's part of his circuit. And this happened in Lamar County. But if you're not familiar with it, he has no prior criminal record at all. He's 18 years old. No prior criminal record at all. Everybody knows, and I've got tons of messages from people, from very close family members of his, from girlfriend. I mean, everybody says he is a great kid. Never been in trouble. And he's being held on a $750,000 bond after having to, so he walks in his house where he lives, and his stepfather or his mom's boyfriend, I don't know if they're married or not, I can't remember, is on top of his mother beating her. So he shoots the guy. And the suspect lives. And they lock him up. And he is still sitting in jail since January. This happened in January. And Judge Junkin refuses to lower his bond at all to let him out. And that's all he did. And here's one of the craziest parts about it. The victim, the man that was beating his mother, himself has gone into court and pled for them to let the kid out. Him saying, look, it was my fault. I was the one that was in the wrong. Why is he locked up? And the Judge Junkin, anyway, I'm sorry. One of my team members was messaging me. I was making sure it wasn't something I need to look at right now. But yeah, so Marquise Gunter did everything he was supposed to. Protected his mother. And they have locked him up. And again, it's Judge Junkin. The man who, out of nowhere, for no reason whatsoever, let a literal, horrible child predator out of prison. And you know the difference in those two? Yes. Skin color. I am telling y'all. And I don't throw the racist term around lightly. I don't, because it's overused way too much. But when I see legit racism, then I call it out. Judge Junkin has a problem with people that are not the same color as him. And I've proven that. I've made quite a few videos, podcasts, pointing out the difference how he treats the two so differently. If you're a black person and if you're a white person, you're treated completely different by Judge Junkin. And it's not right. And the fact that he is still sitting on the stand as a judge in this state is unacceptable. But the victim, I'll say victim, has reportedly, or no, they say reportedly, I know for a fact, the victim has told others as well as the court system that he does not want Marquise prosecuted. And he said if he would have been Marquise, he would have done the exact same thing he did. And the judge will not let him appear in court and testify on Marquise's behalf. He won't let him. So the guidelines, there's bond guidelines in Alabama. And a judge can go outside of the guidelines. So the recommended guidelines, so if I were to arrest someone tomorrow for a Class B felony, which is what Marquise was arrested for, and I set the bond as the investigator, the highest I could set that bond would be $30,000. That's the max guideline on ranges per the state. Judge Junkin set Marquise bond to $750,000. That's literally over 25 times more higher than the bail schedule recommends. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It does not get worse than this. It's so blatant right here. I didn't even know this, but Secret's True Crime Podcast put it out. They filed a motion in Marquise's case asking Judge Junkin to allow him to attend the funeral of his infant child. And the judge denied it. But I'm telling you that judge has got to go. They have got to take his. He should not even be allowed to practice law anymore, much less be a judge. All right. Let's see. Our 2 hours are up for the day. I have this has been an awesome live. I've really enjoyed it, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and I mean that for all your support. And all the awareness we are bringing to all of these things, and there's a lot more to go. We have a lot to do, and I can't thank my team enough. They are unbelievably amazing. Like, they are awesome, and they're doing so much work and so good at what they are doing, and it's paying off. And I hope they realize how much I appreciate them as well. But everyone, like I said, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you are not following me on all the platforms that you're on, please do that. It's Agent D Baker on everything other than Facebook, and that's just my full name, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, Baker. But make sure you go follow me on everything else. And watch my videos, my podcast, and all the way through, and like them, repost them, all that good stuff. That helps them. That helps push them out and bring more awareness to the things that we talk about. But yeah, please share the videos as much as possible. Tell your friends and family, all that stuff. And yes, I am on YouTube, John. It's Agent D Baker on there. But yeah, y'all make sure to follow me on everything, watch all my stuff. And if there's anything that I can do for any of you, don't hesitate to message me. It may take me a bit to get back to you, but at some point I will. And if there's any way possible I can help you, then I will. And if I can't, then I'll tell you I can't. If you have any information about any cases or anything, and you will always remain completely anonymous with me. I will never, ever, under any circumstance, repeat your name to anyone. I take that very serious. I protect people that give me information at all costs. So don't hesitate to message me, and we'll go from there. But I hope you all have an amazing rest of your Tuesday night, and I will see y'all all tomorrow, and we'll do it again. And I'll be posting some more good videos tomorrow, so y'all be looking for those as well. But I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.